Hey guys, welcome to A Film Darkly. I'm your host, Anthony Pacino. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about the film Richard Jewell. It's a Clint Eastwood film. Came out in 2019. It was actually up for a couple of Oscars. I watched the movie probably a few weeks ago. And I think it was. And I've been wanting to do a review of it because this is actually one I really enjoyed. And I feel in a lot of ways it got snubbed. I think to be quite honest, I think it should have done much better as far as Oscars are concerned than it actually did. It's... If you haven't heard of the individual Richard Jewell, Richard Jewell was a security guard. He was at the Olympics in 1996, and he helped prevent the death of a bunch of people when a bomb went off in. I'm trying to remember where it was, what park it was, but there was a bomb that had gone off. He helped save a bunch of people, and just did a really good thing. Kind of a slow person. Like, he doesn't, it's hard to say. Like, he's not slow in the sense that he can't, think or something. It's more like he's extremely one-tracked minded. And he was a gentleman who was just very, very, influenced by, law enforcement. And he was a big fan of military, things like that. He owned tons of guns. He was on the police force. He was like I said, he was a security guard for this big Olympic event. So he was just a man who was just very, very involved with anything that had to do with law enforcement. But he had a history of kind of being a little over the top. He was a security guard for a school, and, basically the dean felt like he was, just too, I don't know how to say it, but like too bossy, I guess, with the students. So he just was this really interesting guy. And he actually passed away at a very young age. He was like in his 40s when he had a major heart attack and died. He was always a little overweight. He lived with his mother, and so anyhow, he was wrongfully accused of having planted the bomb that he warned everyone about, and actually was a hero and rescued a bunch of people. They thought that he fit the bill, they being the FBI and whatnot, thought he fit the bill for being someone that may have planted the bomb themselves, because it was something that was occurring at the time, and blew it up and just saved a bunch of people to make himself look like a hero to get like his 15 minutes. And when you met him, you kind of recognize right away, it's highly doubtful that's what this guy was doing. But that's what this film is about. It's about that guy's story, Richard Jewell. And it's a film directed by Clint Eastwood. It stars Paul Walter Hauser as Richard Jewell. And if you've ever seen a picture of Richard Jewell, this guy looks exactly like him. Or at least he was made to look exactly like him on this film. Sam Rockwell's in the film. He plays Watson Bryant, who's the lawyer of Richard Jewell. The mother of Richard Jewell is... I can't remember her name, but the actress is Kathy Bates. Bobby Jewell is her name. And then there's a journalist named Kathy Scruggs, who actually died back in the early 2000s. She was actually very young, too. She's played by Olivia Wilde, kind of this journalist who, basically was trying to condemn Richard Jewell by going after him, and all this sort of, she did a lot of that kind of gotcha journalism, and was very, she was known to be very wild about how she got her stories, and kind of one of those people where like the ends justified the means to get on top. The movie depicts her as being somebody who was even willing to sleep with people to get information. Apparently, though, there was some controversy that surrounded the film because there's people who worked with the real Scruggs and said she was never like that. So, interestingly enough, when you look up this film, you find out, oh, there's some controversy surrounding it. I don't know exactly why this movie just didn't get the nominations it deserved. It got so little nominations. I think it only got like one nomination, and it didn't even win. And it's like a goofy thing, like writing or something like that. It's something that this film deserved so much more attention than it actually got. It should have been up for Best Picture. It should have been a movie that was really recognized. I think Paul Walter Hauser was quite possibly the best actor of that year. I can't think of 2019 that had a better actor. This guy played Richard Jewell so well, and the film was really good. I mean, even Sam Rockwell deserved a nomination for a Best Supporting Actor. Actually, now that I think about it, it wasn't a nothing. Kathy Bates actually got nominated for Bobby Jewell, for playing Bobby Jewell. Now that I think about it, she lost, but that's not a nothing nomination. But at the same time, it's like really just the supporting actor. It's like, I don't know, this film just had so much more to it. Sam Rockwell should have got a supporting actor, and I think Paul Hauser should have gotten a best actor, best lead, because he was just so good in this movie. And Richard Jewell it's an interesting film because Clint manages to really build you on this guy and getting to know what kind of person he is and knowing his life and what he's the kind of person he is on the day-to-day, where you really understand him. And then this incident happens to him and his whole life is spun upside down, and you could see how these people just tore him apart. And they stressed him so badly that any bad health he may have already had was like quadrupled. And it's crazy. And one of the things that like, as you know, in real life, he was proven innocent. So obviously the film goes the same way. I can't like not, there's no such thing as spoiling this film because it's knowledge, it's news. Everyone should know this, and when you get to that moment where he is found to be innocent, Clint Eastwood has done such a good job at building Richard that it's such a tearjerker when he's given that freedom. You feel what he feels. And you're kind of like, it's like an underdog story where you're just feeling for this guy the whole time you're watching it. You feel bad for him. You want him to get the best. And when you watch him just sort of his life crumble, it bothers you. Like, you're just like, this guy's innocent and this is unbelievable, what they're doing to this man. It's very much a character piece. Sam Rockwell, I think, adds a lot to the movie. I really like his relationship with Richard Jewell, the character he plays, that is Watson Bryant. I really, really love their chemistry. I think they're really good. Paul Hauser and Sam Rockwell just really do a great job at this film and building these characters and their relationships to the point where you just really love Sam Rockwell's character, because you kind of see Watson as sort of this like guardian angel, who just needed this moment. He needed someone like Jewell to come along, and Jewell needed him. And I really like the fact that in real life, Watson Bryant's kids are watched, are watched by Bobby Jewell So in real life, they really were that close, to the point that Watson Bryant had kids, and now Bobby Jewell, who, Richard Jewell's mother, actually watches the kids when they're at work and whatnot. And even with Richard being gone now and having passed away at a very young age, like I said, I think he was like in his 40s. I don't remember exactly what age. I want to say like 42 or something. Is when he died of a massive heart attack. So there's his death. I wanted to see if I could find how old he was when he passed away. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. He was 44. So 44 years old when he died. So yeah, extremely sad. It was a Centennial Olympic Park bombing, if you want to look into it, during the Summer Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. So yeah, it's a very interesting case, and it's a very interesting film. I think it's a movie that anyone should watch. It's just so good. It's, my brother had told me about it, and I was kind of like, I heard something about this movie. This movie got so little marketing, which is one of the reasons why I think it just didn't do well box office wise. But it's so surprising to me that even the Oscars kind of barely touched it with Kathy Bates. I just really don't like that. It also is R-rated, and I think it's funny that it's R-rated because of it. Like, the only reason I could think it would be is because there's some cursing, especially from Sam Rockwell's character. He gets pretty heavy with some of his cursing, but it's like, it's kind of goofy to me. I don't know. I remember seeing it was rated R, and I was like, this could have probably gotten to 13, but who knows. Anyhow, so yeah, this is a high recommendation for me. I think out of a 10, I would give it at least an 8.5 out of 10. I think. I can't really think of flaws per se. The only thing I can think of is it's not like this cinematically dynamic, in the way that's going to make it that movie. But it is such a good movie, and it's really well made, and there's really not a lot of flaws in this film. I guess I would say that the character of the Olivia Wilde, the Kathy Scruggs character, I felt like she needed more of a presence in the film. It was kind of like you expected her, based on her intro, to end up being a certain character, and while you do get some development with her, it was kind of like the story focuses so heavily on Richard Jewell that you kind of start to forget about her character. You just sort of forget about her. And so I think, if anything, like, Olivia Wilde does such a great job with that character. There's no reason why we should just completely forget about her. And I feel like we kind of do. But other than that, yeah, this movie is just a really difficult movie to say, it deserves so much more than it actually got. And I think it's a really solid film, and I think it's worth a watch. So anyways, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thanks for listening, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.